Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Stephanie and this is Three Swords Tarot. Right off the bat, I gotta tell you this is gonna be a chaotic video. This is already my fourth time trying to film it because I'm highly distracted right now. I'm feeling a little bit chaotic. I've tried grounding, I've tried everything. But I'm making this video for a class, basically. I'll tell you what that is in a minute. But I've got a very, very, very small window. Dinner is getting made. Someone's going to call for me at some point. We have severe weather coming in, and we have a weather radio, so that will likely go off at some point during this conversation. I live with my elderly parents, and they don't hear very well, so when it goes off, they don't they don't hear it. So I have to go turn it off. So it's gonna be interesting, and I'm not diagnosed yet as like ADHD or anything, but I promise you I have it because I cannot keep on topic to save my soul, which is why this is my fourth time. I have yeah, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna just if I can keep this train going, I'll be on the track better and longer. So what is the class I'm taking? It is a certification program through Biddy Tarot. Biddy Tarot is, it's Bridget. Oh, my brain is blanking on her last name. Either Bridget. Her name is Bridget. She started the website. It's become a whole thing now. She has a whole team of people. There are a lot of different certifications that you can do with her there. Most people know it as a place to stop off and check out what your tarot cards mean in your pull. But there are so many other blogs and podcasts and other resources there. I am part of her very first transformational tarot coaching certification program. I'm like the first round that they're doing. It's a 6-month program. I like to describe it as the intersection between tarot reading and life coaching. That is a Cybertruck, if you can hear it. This guy across the street is like 70 years old, and he's a teenager in his head. And an Elon Musk wannabe. And yeah, he likes to pull up in his Cybertruck with music blaring. Anyway, so it's a 6-month program, and it is this really cool idea where instead of me like just doing a reading for you, like you can't instead of me just doing a reading, like you coming to me with a question, and I do the reading, and I either like do a video of it, or I type it up for you, or maybe we do a live call. It is like we are doing a live call, and you're coming to me with something kind of bigger than a question. You could have a question, obviously, but there's something in your life that needs to be changed. That you need help with, that you need clarity on in order to move forward. This could be a manifestation, a career move, it could be a relationship, it could be whatever. But instead of like just a one-off reading, we work together to figure this out. I pull the cards, and you actually get to help me read them. For some people, that might be really scary at first. But I promise you, with tarot, there are no wrong answers. There are no wrong answers, there are no wrong emotions, there's no wrong anything. There is just us sitting together with me here to support you and to validate you and to see you and witness you. I kind of see me as like you're drowning and I'm the boat that kind of like lifts your head above water so that you can catch a breath and breathe. And then kind of look at your star map together, and let's figure out where you're going and how we can get you there. And it's not a one-off session. it's something that happens for 3 months to begin with. Obviously, if after 3 months you feel like you need more time, we'll book more time. But it is going to initially be always like a 3-month container to start. I'm so excited. I'm only in my 2nd month. It is a 6-month program, but we're all of us in this class are trying to put ourselves out there. Some of these people have like full-blown businesses already, and they're incredible, and I'm like really intimidated. I'm just this girl who I literally tripped across this. I started this channel because I actually got into Reiki, and I knew I needed to cultivate a community and clients somehow, and I really hate Instagram. I really struggle with it. I don't think Blue Sky is big enough yet to really cultivate, but we'll see. I don't know. Watch this space. I love YouTube. YouTube has been my family. It's been my friend. Like I said before, I think I'm neurodivergent. I kind of struggle with friends and community and finding in-person communities. I have really weird random interests, and they're not just hobbies, or like ways of life to me. You know, like stationery, like the way that a good notebook and a good piece of paper will just make my whole day. Like I can cry if someone gives me a notebook that is from a brand like Stalogy. If I need a notebook and somebody gives me a Stalogy notebook, I'm like, we're moving on. This is why YouTube has been like, for me, like everything, because you're not just gonna walk out your door and find a gaggle of people, you know, like giggling and talking about their favorite planners and their favorite notebooks, you know. You're gonna find that online. And while Instagram is definitely full of stationery lovers, there's just something about posting for a grid and trying to build that grid and that aesthetic, and that is just not, it doesn't work for me. I like vlogs. I like sit down chatty videos. I like not feeling alone. I like feeling included. And I don't think Instagram makes you feel included. I think it actually kind of makes, for me, I think it makes me feel excluded. And like right now, I've got Ryan Hall to help me feel safe and while I do this, because I'm really, really scared. Ryan Hall is a meteorologist. There is bonkers weather happening right now in the Great Plains, and he is live streaming it. There's radar up. He's got like 6 different storm chasers in the field. Brandon Kopic is on right now. He's in Iowa. I have him on there. So that there's an angel number 10773. 17 7s and 3s are really, really big for me. So of course, like I look over talking about my little security blanket and my little niche interest, and there's my angel number being like the universe winking at me. Hi baby, you're doing really great. Anyway, so I wanted to contribute to YouTube, and I wanted to do something that could cultivate a community and that could get me clients. And I was like not about to start doing Reiki over YouTube just yet. I wasn't really sure how to navigate that space. A lot of it uses ASMR, which is fascinating and beautiful. And I found Reiki through the Luninate. I'll link her below. She's my teacher. And she does incredible things. She uses ASMR to try and bridge that gap between master and person and body and client, by using like those senses, sweeping the lens and playing with the speakers, and it creates all those sensations that, well, I thought you would not have from doing distance Reiki, but I did Reiki for for friends, and they all were like, I didn't expect to feel anything, but they're like, I felt like tingles, and I felt like releasing, and I felt heat and cold changes, and they're like, I felt all kinds of things. It was really, really, really interesting. Very interesting. We could clock at what point I was feeling things, and they were also feeling it. It's really interesting. Anyway, so that's why I came to YouTube, and I decided to do tarot because it was just easy for me, and because I really liked pick a card tarot readings. I thought they were, they, to put it bluntly, they saved my life. There have been a lot of times in the last, 5, 6, 7 years, where I've been very, very, very low and just really feeling like it's best that I'm not here anymore. It's best for everyone, especially me, and I'm gonna peace out. For my sci-fi lovers, goodbye and thanks for all the fish. Like, I'm out. But there was always a reading to pull me back, to remind me of why I'm here and who I am, and that this pain I'm feeling isn't fake. It's not. So I deal with a lot of like narcissistic type dynamics, and I'm always blamed. I'm always gaslit. I'm always, and so I always feel like I'm the problem. And it's been these tarot readings on YouTube that have reminded me that no, like, no, sister, no, little girl. That is not what's going on. You need to hold on because things get better. And it was hard, and I didn't believe it for a long, long time. Little by little, step by step, tiny pivot by tiny pivot, the light started to shift in my world, and I started to see some of the things that were predicted years ago happening for me. I'm not a big fan of like trying to make manifestations happen faster, but I also think there's a difference between manifesting and timeline. Watch out for those timelines. I think there's a difference between manifesting and timeline shifting, and I think knowing which one you're doing is incredibly helpful. Just as a quick example, 2 couples want to manifest a house. One couple has worked on their relationship with money. They have jobs that make them a decent amount of money. They have been saving. They've got that down payment ready. Now they're just looking for the home they want in their desired neighborhood, but they're not finding it. So they need to come home, sit down, and start doing exercises where they really get clear on what kind of home they want, really get clear in the neighborhood they want, and like why they want that home, why they want that neighborhood, and start working together to like kind of project themselves into that future home. They're doing the laundry. Remember that time like little Tommy fell down the stairs, and that's a really bad memory, but it just goes to show you how like built my head still is for catastrophe and negativity. But like, remember that time, like, remember that Christmas in our new home where like little Tommy got a bicycle for Christmas? Remember how his like little eyes lit up, and like, you just start pretending like you've already lived in that house and you already have kids living there, and you're already like, you're remembering Christmases you want to have one day. That's manifesting. Couple 2 is like, they don't have jobs that are gonna ever pay for a house. They overspend. They don't really even believe like they can have a house. Like, they want the house, they talk about it, but then they're also like, oh, those rich people who get to have houses, like, they're just really negative, and maybe they come from families and generations of poverty and poverty mindset. I'm not talking about like people who deal with like racism and things like that. Those are like different issues that I don't know that you can manifest your way out of. Although one day I'll talk about a woman that I watched who she did just that. But her name is, oh god, Olympia DuPont. DuPont? DuPont. As I'm watching a weather channel that talks about dew points. But it is, I think it's DU and then POINT. And she says, I know that it would be DuPont in French, but she's like, we're American, it's DuPont, okay? But maybe I'll link her if I can remember. I'll tell you about her another day, because she, if timeline shifting is kind of ringing some bells for you, or is something you've heard about and you're interested in, she's your queen, and we need to talk about her. Anyway, getting back. I told you, I can't stay on topic. Like, that couple has a lot of work they need to do. You know, they really need to do the work to understand where they are, how they got where they are, and how to fix those mindsets, how to build, as my friend Camille, hi Camille if you watch this, will say, build new neural pathways to success, to getting out of that lack mentality. They have some shifting. I kind of think of it as like being on lanes of the highway. You know, if you, like, I want to move to LA, and if I were to literally get into a car right now, I'd have to find my way to the proper highways that take me to LA. And that's going to involve a lot of, like, you know, getting on the right streets. Which way am I turning now? Okay, which street do I take next? Now there's an on-ramp. Now I have to, like, there's a lot of lane changes. I'm on my major highway now. There are lanes to change into. So I got to get onto that off-ramp so I can get onto that on-ramp. So I can, you know, and there's just a lot of, like lane shifting, you know, so that you can get to your destination. And for a lot of people, half the battle is just realizing, you know, or like trying to understand not only that you are in fact the one driving the car, believe it or not, but like, where are you going and how did you get here? And where do you want to go? And I really feel like understanding how you got here, and well, no, step one is that you do have control of that car. Period. That is like, I did not know that. I woke up one day having gone through a horrible health crisis, and it woke me up, you know, and all of a sudden I realized, like, I am the one behind the driver's seat, in the driver's seat, behind the wheel. Excuse me. And, like, I had to come to terms with that first. And then I had to start exploring where the hell I'm headed. Like I've been on autopilot, completely asleep behind the wheel of my life. Where the hell has that put me on the road of life? Where am I headed? And where do I want to go from there? You know? And that to me is like, that's not manifestation. That's a whole other, like, thing that you have to, you know, kind of deal with. I forgot what I was talking about. This is what I'm talking about. I am so, like, I have a hard time staying on topic. We're going to bring it back to me cultivating an audience and me coming to YouTube and thinking I should do tarot cards. And why I haven't been posting in a while, and entirely it's because I couldn't get my videos to upload. I would make a video, I would work so hard on it, and it would upload to 99% and then sit at 99%. Poisson. It would sit at 99% for a while and then go right back to 0. And it would do this again and again And again, I tried on my iPad, I tried on my iPhone, I would leave my phone at home and like let it go while I was at work. I did it overnight. I literally would wake up at like 2 in the morning and like babysit it. Why am I looking at my watch? I would like keep the screen awake at 2 in the morning, and like it didn't matter what time of day, what device. If nobody else was home and using the internet, it didn't matter. It did the same thing over and over and over and over again, and I just could not help but feel like this was either energetic or divine. Like, this is not really what you're supposed to be doing. And we need you to pull away. And we need you to just chill out. Frankly, it felt like a divine timing thing, which I find really interesting. I also really thought it was because I wasn't trying to start a tarot business. Here's how I came to be on the Biddy Tarot thing. Okay? And I don't even know what this video is going to be about. It was going to be about, like, I was going to pull tarot cards and just talk about them. But this might just be story time where you guys kind of get to know me a little bit. And then we talk about, like, the series I want to start. So, my idea for Reiki, right? I've never, ever liked the idea of working, like doing one-off sessions with anything. That was what really put me off with being a tarot reader. I'm like, I don't want to just sit there and do a reading and then have you walk away. And then, like, what happened? You know, that made me really sad. And then when I started doing Reiki for my friends and family, I felt the exact same way. I'm like, no, I hate this. You know, like, I don't think, if you've never done Reiki, and maybe it's just me, it is the most intimate experience I've ever experienced. The first person I ever did Reiki on, I would put good money on the table that they're a pretty good candidate for like an actual diagnosis of being a narcissist. I would put good money down on that one. Most people who I jokingly call narcissists, I don't actually think. There's 3 people in my life that I'm like, and she came forward as wanting to be someone that would allow me to practice my Reiki on. And I was like, oh, no. No. I don't know if I'm okay with that. But I didn't want to be mean. And frankly, I need people, right? I'm not going to be able to pick and choose out in the wild. You know, I need to be able to handle what comes to me. And so I said, okay. I'm like, I would love to do this. So I did the session. And as I was preparing to, like, kind of like, I call it dipping my fingers into their aura. I start with clearing the aura. I use a proxy. I use this guy specifically. I like Halloween, if you couldn't tell. These are little ghosties. I got a brand new pillow I still have to, like, cut the tags on. Literally dead. Because I have chronic fatigue syndrome, so I literally feel dead a lot of days. This is my proxy because I like skeletons. And I start with the back, and then I clear the aura and everything, and then I gently flip him over, and then I clear it's like my favorite thing to clear people's auras, you know, and to like start that process. And you like immediately get a vibe. I immediately, like, my brain speaks in analogies. You'll hear it a lot. I speak visually in analogies, and I see and feel a lot of colors and textures, and like I see like little movies, and with this particular person, with this woman, the minute I started to dip in and start clearing, I was met with, like, you guys, probably the sweetest little girl I've ever experienced in my life. Just, and I mean like little, I mean like 3 or 4, you guys. And this woman is in her 70s now. And it was shocking to me, and it really reminded me of how people who have these personalities or tendencies, they really come from deep traumas. I mean, that doesn't excuse it. Like, you know, the way that she treats me and other people is not okay. But to me, it was so clear that this woman was hurt profoundly at an extremely young age, and she is just stuck there. And my relationship with her made complete sense, because there are days where I'm interacting with her, and it is literally like interacting with a child, and I walk away going, I don't understand what I just experienced. And like, this is what I mean when like Reiki is so intimate, like, and I love it, and I want to do it every day, but I don't want to do one off. Like, you don't experience something like that and then be like, okay, bye. Like, have a nice life. Like, you're like, I want to hold you, and I want to keep working with you, and I want to build a relationship with you. And I really wanted to pull cards for her. I really wanted. She's devoutly Christian, wants nothing, like, she was trying to be helpful as much as she could. But there's just, tarot is a line she won't cross. And repeat Reiki is another line she won't cross. The fact that she even offered in the first place was both terrifying and deeply meaningful to me. It was a stretch for her. It was a really big stretch. But as I was doing Reiki on other people, I began to realize, like, if I'm going to do this, it's going to be like, you're going to get a package deal from me. It's going to be a 3-session package, period. It's going to be like 2 hours. It's because I can't do a Reiki session for shorter than 58 minutes. Literally to the minute, 58 minutes. It'll be longer if I have to do something else. Like, I did some cord cutting for a friend. And that took another, like, 15 minutes or something. But the actual, like, clearing of the aura, clearing the meridians, making sure the energy was flowing through the meridians, and then clearing each chakra one by one, and then kind of, like, finishing it up is 58 minutes. Exactly. But I wanted to have, like, another hour tacked on for us to talk. You know, like, I needed to know what was going on. I needed to know what you were feeling, what's holding, like, if you're part of my class, like, you're gonna be like, ah! And so that's what I wanted. And I was trying to build a YouTube channel with kind of like funneling people into that kind of experience with me. What happened was, again, internet was like, no, we're not uploading these. I felt like it was a divine pause or a timing or an energy thing. And so I just kind of let it go. I let it go. I felt really guilty, and I stressed out about it a lot. But what ended up happening was in April, I opened up my phone, and I can't remember what was going on, but I hadn't been on my phone in hours. And I'm one of those people, I obsessively close up my tabs on my iPhone. I'm always closing them out. Always. The old, always. And, I opened up my phone and my browser was open. And I immediately was like, what? Because that just doesn't happen. And it wasn't just open, it was on biddytarot.com, specifically open to a sign up for a free 3-day tarot workshop. Sorry, I need water. Oh my gosh. It was a 3-day tarot workshop. And my first thought was, oh, weird, but okay. And then I didn't close it out though. I put my phone down. And then I was like, something feels fishy here in a magical, synchronistic kind of a way. I wasn't on Biddy Tarot anytime recently. I actually been actively trying to not use her, to try and get myself to get different points of view from different websites that have different that also do what she does, because I kind of was just always going there, and I feel like it's really important to try and get as many different perspectives as you possibly can. I hadn't even been on her website in probably literally 8 months, and I was like, why is she up? Why is that website open and to that workshop? So I finally looked at it again, and I'm like, this is not a mistake. Somebody somewhere wants you to do this. And we're gonna sign up for this. It's a free 3-day workshop. Just do it. And so I signed up for it, and I almost didn't go. I almost was like, I'm a what the hell am I? I'm a Reiki healer. I'm an energy worker. I'm not a tarot reader. Why am I doing this? I did it anyway. Last minute, I showed up, and Bridget described how she wanted to take the one-off tarot reading and kind of flip it on its head and make it be a coaching session where you work with someone over 3 months. And I was absolutely blown away. If she had replaced tarot with Reiki, she was basically describing what I wanted to do. And it blew my mind. I was like, what is happening right now? I couldn't believe it. And is it getting dark? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I'm gonna turn the light on. It's gonna look really bad, guys. I'm sorry. I've already been talking for 37 minutes, so I apologize. It's gonna be a long one. So I was just blown away, and at the end of the 3 days, she talked about her program, and it was $3,000, which is quite an investment. Old me would have said absolutely not, but I was trying to do things that scared me, because I do have fear of spending money. Because I was unemployed for 4 years, from 2020 until, maybe not a full 4 years, but I went back to work. Yeah, I went back to work in 2024. It's a full 4. It was a very, very, very short, 3-4 months in 2022 where I crashed and burned. I wasn't quite well enough to go back to work, and I crashed and burned. But it's been about 4 years. And so I developed a real fear of spending money. And So I was really scared. I was like, oh my God. Before I was unemployed, I overspent all the time. I never had any money to my name because the minute I got it, I spent it. Like literally just gone. By the time I got my next paycheck, I had maybe $25 to my name. And so I had worked really hard on my money mindset. I had worked really hard on disciplining myself. And I was getting ready to celebrate $10,000 in the bank. And I was telling everyone I was going to have a party, and everyone knew how hard I was working. And then and then this came up, and I'm like, oh no. And I'm like, Stephanie, what are you going to do? Are you going to live in fear and tell yourself that, like, if I spend the money on the certification, the potential to make more money, like, yeah, I could fail. I could take the class, do nothing with it, but like, you know, like, you're really excited about this. You're really excited about this, so like you can see yourself doing this. So I did it. I pulled the trigger, and I'm in my second month, and this is my homework. Did I bring it back home? Did I bring it back home? Did that tangent? I don't even know what I started out saying. I think I was gonna say this was gonna be a really chaotic video because of all the bad weather coming. Let me tell you what I want to do with this channel. I don't think for a while I'm going to do pick a card readings. I might do I will do like YouTube shorts at some point in time where I pick a card for like a few days in a row. I really like I did the advent calendar for Yule. I really enjoyed that. So I will likely be doing that again. And because I love Halloween, I think doing the daily countdown to Halloween as well, using my Nightmare Before Christmas cards. So this might be a really good excuse for me to get the Beetlejuice cards. Or maybe the Hocus Pocus cards. Oh my god. I don't know. It would be so exciting. But anyway, so I will do some like readings in a very, very, very short form. But I think what I'm probably gonna do is focus on what I would like to call tea and tarot, where instead of predicting cards and like reading the cards, I just want to talk about the cards. I feel like there's such a push for us to like constantly be seeking answers and coming to tarot just like gimme. And we talk a lot about how, you know, the cards represent these different aspects of the human experience and the human psyche, and that the tarot never tells us anything we don't already know. It's here to trigger our intuition and bring the answers that are already up within us. And I would agree to that. But I do feel like, especially on YouTube, that power is kind of taken away from us, because I think we forget that it's here and in here. We forget we're tapping into ourselves. And we make it be like, you, the tarot reader, have all the answers. I'm a helpless human being, and you're gonna, oh no, hold on again, I'm sorry. My light bulb is flickering. I literally think it's a ghost. It's in as tight as it can go. It's gonna flicker, I apologize. Just thank you to the beings in the room. I don't actually know if that's what's going on. But anyway, I just think that there's just such a when I read the comments and when I see just people engaging with these videos, and I know from my own experience, to be completely honest with you, I know I often come to the tarot either for myself or through a YouTube video, kind of in a state of desperation. I come already disempowered, and I come looking for the tarot cards to give me what I need. I don't know what to do. Give me the answer. And well, that's relatable and human and completely understandable. I kind of want to be a channel that engages with the cards in a different way. And I just feel like, just taking a deck, standard Rider-Waite, they're shuffled, they're not in order, and just pulling them one at a time and just talking about them. Whatever comes into my head. Excuse me. Let me just start off. 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, one of my favorite cards ever in the deck. I have a lot of favorites. I don't know that anyway. I love this card so much. It is such a beautiful reminder. If you're panicking about your manifestations, for me, because I have chronic fatigue syndrome, 78% of my time is spent in bed recovering. Period. And it scares me. I feel okay. I feel behind all the time. I feel lazy, undisciplined, unmotivated all the time. I am terrified and stressed out that I am not doing enough for my manifestations to come in. And I will pull this card, and it's the universe giving me a hug and being like, girl, you chose this existence. You chose to come in this body. And going from a vital, energetic body to one that, struggles was something that you chose to do. And you're going to have to accept that you're doing the work is going to look different from other people's. It's going to be a lot less hustly, and it's going to be less and slower. I mean, you're going to have to trust that those seeds are planted and that they are growing. And they're not just growing, they're look, one of those pentacles fell off. Ripe fruit falls from the tree, that pentacle was ready to be manifested. I'm so sorry, I'll be right back. Tornado watch. We're under a tornado watch now. Woo, 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 woo. Anyway, the weather radio is gonna go off like crazy now. Anyway, but yeah, it just feels like the universe and my guides and my guardians and my ancestors are just like, patience, baby girl, patience, and do not worry. I think some people can interpret him as bored or maybe frustrated. I've always seen him as just chilling. He's not doing a damn thing. They're not telling him he's not watering it. He's not trying to bring a brighter light to it or anything. He's literally just do because he's done the work. And it's growing. And now it's just a matter of time. And I love it. It brings me such joy when I'm freaking out. Knight of Swords. Yeah. He's the only one of the court cards. For those of you who don't know, court being page, knight, queen, or king. His is the only one that I don't struggle with. I kind of struggle with all the other ones, but his is like, you know, I mean, he's clearly. I mean, do you see that horse? Let me see if I can. Do you see that? There we go. And that horse is like, oh my god. That horse is not happy. It's a little bit like, it's totally side-eyeing him. Can you see it? Yeah. He's giving him the side eye. He's like, dude, bruh. Can we calm down for a minute? And this guy's like, absolutely not. I will not chill. There is zero chill today. And, you know, with someone who has a racing mind and who can sometimes act before I think. Another one that I love. It comes up and I just know exactly where I'm at when this one comes up. I know exactly what to do. You know, it comes up and I'm like, yep, got it. And I just move on. There is no, like, there are no tears, just no discussion. There's like, yeah, I should go for a walk. I'll go for a walk. I'll go for a walk. Thank you, Spirit. I should go outside and put my feet in the grass. I should do that. I should go put my bare feet in the grass and ground myself a little bit and chill out. I just love how windy it is. The trees are like whoosh. And so he's like, so the birds are all scattered in the sky, like his mind is all scattered. I love it. I love cards that like are just so clear. They're crystal clear. Okay, sorry. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, thunderstorm warning now. That's exciting. Anyway, I'll just pull a few more because I know this is going to get even more chaotic. But I just kind of wanted to give you an idea of what I mean by just pulling cards. Ooh, Seven of Wands. Any Star Wars fans out there? This is Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is Higher Ground. This is him. You know, like, it'll never work, Anakin. I've got the higher ground. That's... I got into spirituality the same time I got into Star Wars. It's been a long time. Like, I've kind of... There's been a real divergence lately. But for a long time, they were one and the same. Like, they were one and the same. It was really interesting. This one I struggle with. I think it comes back to that kind of narcissistic environment where anytime I spoke up for myself or defended myself, I was punished severely. And I struggle with those who are... yeah, like, this to me just triggers me really bad. It's a positive card. It's you defending your ground, defending your right to be there, defending your dream, defending your project. You having the higher ground. I mean, it is literally, people talk about being like, you have the higher ground. The higher ground being the right. Like, you are in the right, you know? Oh wait, wrong one. And so it is a positive card, but like I said, like, it just makes me wince. It really makes me wince, and it really, like, yeah. But I'm learning to be proud of it when I pull it. I'm learning to enact it when I get it as advice. I'm learning to push through anyway, and be strong in my correctness and in my knowing. Yeah. It's a hard one though. Oof. Another really good one. Nine of Swords. This one is one of my favorites because it's just a really, really good reminder that a lot of what we think, how am I trying to say this? A lot of what we think is real is actually just not. It's in our head. I don't know why that took me so long to get there. Yeah, it's in our heads. It's a fear, you know. It's not real. And this is one of these cards that in the right reading will just destroy me. I pull it and it's like immediate just sobbing and like emotional release. It's another one of those cards that feels like a hug from my team. You know, that's like, no. No. Absolutely not. Like, you are not the person, you are not the bad person you think you are. People don't hate you the way you think they do. You're not hurting any, like this is all just in your head. And yeah. I really love it. Can you tell? I keep looking at it. I like the scary cards. I have such a good relationship with the scary cards. You know, I mean, my channel is called Three Swords Tarot, for God's sake. Like, that's really powerful. Ah, yes, Queen, Nine of Pentacles. She is my single woman living her best life with her own money and her own energy and her own home. She's what I'm working towards. Anyway, we'll pull one more. Strength. I am so obsessed with this card. I have anger issues. I've been watching some videos on people and what it's like when they have autistic meltdowns. One guy he was in the middle of one and he got on Instagram and made a reel about it. And it was exactly how I was feeling the night before at work. And I was like, oh my gosh, and just like how you get to a point where like people just breathing next to you pisses you off, and like your shirt pisses you off, and like the way your shoes feel on your feet makes you angry. And that's how I've been the last 3 shifts at work. And I've been really struggling to not snap at people we have walkie-talkies. And I snapped, y'all. I snapped. I got really angry and I snapped over the walkie for like everyone to hear. It was really, I'm not proud. And the strength card with her gentleness and being in control is such a powerful reminder that like I can learn to be in control of myself, not through hardness, not through anger, not through frustration, not through force, but through softness. Like, I can do this. And it's just, it recenters me. It reminds me what I'm working towards with myself personally in conquering my emotional regulation journey. And I'm always really grateful for this card. I'm getting really emotional. It's such a powerful pathway. You know, it's such a great pathway. I mean, when I say pathway, I mean like, when you feel so heartbroken by your own, like I feel like my heart betrayed me, like my emotions betrayed me, and it's just a reminder to be gentle. Like, especially if I end up, once I get better insurance and I can go talk to someone about getting diagnosed as definitely ADHD, possibly autistic. But this card is always, and it reminds me to have faith, and it reminds me to just find that gentle place in my heart for myself. You're not gonna get anywhere if you're hard on yourself. Boot camp is for the army. Drill sergeants are for brainwashing people that need to be brainwashed so that they work as a team so that they don't die. Drill sergeants are not for at home. They're not for at home. They're not for your heart. They're not for your healing. They're not for your soul. You need love and compassion, and you can't even come close to giving it to somebody else if you don't give it to yourself. So yeah, that's been a little bit about me. Chaotic little video, and our first our first 6 cards of the traditional Rider-Waite deck. After that, I have the Nightmare Before Christmas deck. I also have I have the Light Seers tarot deck to go through after that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too chaotic. I have a partial facial paralysis and some kind of teeth issues right now that make it hard for me to talk succinctly. I hope you could understand me a little bit. I hope I cut out all of the burps and all of the alarms and me totally checking out a tornado briefly. And yeah, hopefully this uploads, and if it does and I continue to be able to upload, then I'm going to try to aim for weekly tea and tarot. I will try and keep them shorter. I'll try and maybe we'll do 10 cards. We'll just do 10 cards and then we'll move on, because this is long. But okay, let me know if any of these cards resonated with you. If you have anything else you want to say about these cards, I would love to hear it, and more importantly, I think other people who watch this video would really like to hear it. And yeah, okay. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it to the very end. And I will see you in the next video, unless a tornado blows my house down. Watch this space. Bye!